It is August 14th, 2025, and we have reports of a dog that keeps finding human remains. We also have the direwolf puppies meeting for the first time and a UFO seen in England. This is Inverted World Live. Welcome back, everybody. This is Inverted World Live, and I am your host, Shane Cashman. It is good to have you here on our final episode of the week. For those who don't know, this is a call-in show. We will get to your phone calls in about 30 minutes. If you have a strange story you want to share with us, we are here. The link to call in is pinned in the chat on both Rumble and YouTube. It's audio only, and we'd love to hear you tell a story about anything. Ghost encounters, sleep paralysis, cryptids, UFOs, military abductions, you name it, we want to hear it. Brandon, how are you?
I am good, sir. How are all of you? Welcome back. It's great to see everybody. Like he says, last show of the week, so let's get weird.
So much to get through today. It's been a big inverted world week. And we have a lot of dog stories. Most of the stories I have lined up involve some sort of canine. But before we get to that, I don't want to overlook this story that's going on with Greer and Jeremy Corbell. There's been this video floating around the past week or so. It's an old video of Jeremy Corbell from, I think, the end of last year, warning everyone about some sort of craft heading towards our planet Earth. So let's pull up that and watch these two guys, Greer and Jeremy Corbell, discuss this. This is from Astral on Twitter. Let's hear what they have to say.
Zero doubt. That lie is coming.
What is the lie?
Specifically, you want me to say it right now? For real? Real?
For real?
On
For
camera.
real?
For real?
To be put in the show?
Right now?
Okay.
Me?
Problem with that. If we tell the lie before it's told, they can adapt. That wouldn't be wise. I'll tell you privately, but I would really think about if you want to put this in your show. For real.
For real? For real?
That's a real thing I'm telling you. So will you think about it before putting it in your show?
Absolutely.
Okay. So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe.
Can you pause it real quick?
It's nuanced.
Just want to talk about how effective this is on the audience. The Twin Peaks atmospheric music happening, the way they zoom in on his face to emphasize the seriousness of what he's saying.
The creepy ass room he's sitting in, maybe? I mean,
The creepy room.
And I went for a similar aesthetic, but I don't think we were trying to scare the shit out of people.
That's how I used to look in this room before you put the desk together. And also, I just want to remind people, if you're just now tuning in, we're listening to Jeremy Corbell, and we're about to listen to Stephen Greer talk about some sort of craft on its way. But this Corbell video is from the end of last year. And he discussed in the very beginning something that I do think is interesting about saying something out loud for then whomever is orchestrating all this madness to then adapt. That's his word, because they can adapt to the story. And then you'll know out there, because you listen to the show, that go figure, there's a hostile probe heading towards Earth that we just found out about in July.
Another one of these menacing fist waving, profanity slurring objects heading for our planet.
Exactly. Let's tune back into Jeremy Corbell.
How they explain that, the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there is a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today with a year.
You didn't reply to either one of them, you son of a bitch.
You left
me on red.
Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie. Not going to be part of it. Not going to say it to the camera. Everybody knows. Just start paying attention. And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things.
So was that their way of telling us that it's in 2027? Is that what that was? Because it was on there twice.
But then he says, you know, once it's out there, they can always change. And if this came out the end of in December of last year, perhaps they expedited the probe.
So if this guy's still alive 50 years from now and they do this, he's gonna be like, "See, I told you they'd change it."
Right, exactly. He leaves it open to where he could be wrong. You know.
Yeah, it's like the way that Dune 2 left it open for like a third one.
And that's what these. This is
but
kind
they
of how
said
they.
We're not going to do it.
This is how they pedal. It's fascinating.
Let's finish it off.
This will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through it. Now you can verify it. If that's the case, then I'm fucking dangerous. You've been told the truth about UFOs for a long time now. It's been pretty orchestrated. It's been pretty clear. And it's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth. Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? Hope I'm wrong, but it's terrifying.
Do you think he's?
I have zero.
Whoa.
Do you think he's part of the lie, or do you think he's a puppet to promote the lie? I have my theories.
I don't know if I have enough evidence to say either way right now.
Yeah, my gut is I don't trust him, but I like listening to his videos.
My gut never wants to trust any of this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If I'm getting right down to it, my gut just is like, nah.
Especially how it lines up so perfectly.
Like, I didn't even need to hear him say anything, and I'm like, all right, no. You know, but
yeah.
I still try to hear it out. I still try to give it its time of day. You know,
I definitely like hearing what he has to say. It is odd to me that we did get the news of a probe, and you know, a Harvard scientist, Harvard astronomer, whatever he is, Avi Loeb, said, you know, in July that this thing is aggressive, and it's confirming what Jeremy said in December. Maybe he has intel. You know, that is a possibility because he is in this UFO world. He talks to a lot of people. He's at the hearings. If you watch a lot of those testimonies, like the one we watched last night. He's in a lot of those, sitting down in the background.
Have they confirmed the aggression level? Like, is this the same situation as the other one?
Can we add a bar to the screen at some point that shows how aggressive we think it might be?
Right next to the hat count that I have, how many hats I've got.
Whenever we get closer to getting the Epstein files, it just gets a little more aggressive. And then we have Stephen Greer, who I'm just going to say up front, another person I don't really put too much stock in, but I also am very interested in what they're saying, why they're saying it. You know, it's a matter of, are they being fed this information and they just fully believe it? Or, you know, it's like the kind of conversation people have about Bob Lazar in Area 51 and the things he said. A lot of people think, you know, he hasn't changed his story in all this time. A lot of weird things that happened to him. There's been allegedly confirmation from within Area 51 saying he did work there after he was, after Area 51 said he never worked there. And I always think, is it possible that he was shown things and became a believer, and the things they shown him were manipulated to make him become a believer? You know, it's kind of like the other Area 51 story I bring up often about the Jacobson book, about the guy who said he saw the like autistic children being mutilated to look like extraterrestrials to scare the Soviets. Is that something he was just shown, you know, to become someone who seemed like a true believer, but not realizing he's actually a part of the propaganda? But let's see what Greer says as he's fuming red in this image. He's the red cube from yesterday.
So what's the agenda here? It's the agenda we exposed 30 some years ago, and that Carol Rosin said that Werner von Braun, who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, warned us of, and that they were going to try to create a specter of a threat from outer space. And the only way to do that is to falsely create evidence, or evidence that exists that the CIA and other operations have created, and then label it alien when it isn't. So they labeled the Cash Landrum thing alien when it was human error. They label many of the abductions as alien when it's been staged by covert programs. They label mutilations alien mutilations, and they're not. We know who's doing it. We know how they're doing it. It has nothing to do with NHI, extraterrestrial aliens.
So there you have it.
So what's the agenda?
Very curious what you guys are thinking about all this. I think my idea of Project Bluebeam has been evolving probably since last summer. I might have said it the first time last summer on this show. Whereas, original Project Bluebeam is this idea, this theory that they're going to project something into the sky to bring about the New World Order. Some people say that could be a false Messiah, a false hologram Christ. Others say it's a fake alien invasion. There's many different theories. My theory now about Bluebeam is that it's actually a slow drip of information that we're blue beaming ourselves from inside. And it's more of like a conscious mutation that we're slowly being led to this idea of the aliens. Whereas I think that's an easier way to trick a lot of people than doing something magnificent in the sky, some sort of giant display, because I think a lot of people will see through that. Unless, we had Sam Tripoli on the show, and he said, his idea of blue beam in the modern day would be like all the Lockheed Martin drones. We were talking about drones last night. We know they're capable of making insane dragons dancing through the sky. Perhaps drones could be used. Last night we talked about projecting the possibility of projecting one of those cubes into the sky. So obviously that technology is out there. We know they've got wild stuff that we haven't even begun to consider, and things that we have considered that they have already advanced way beyond what we could possibly imagine. But I feel like this idea of declassification and this sort, like, they've weaponized transparency against us, and everyone's at odds within the UFO community. Like I mentioned earlier this week, that there's been this beef in the UFO world on Twitter, where one person saying she's going to release this information about a secret UFO, this giant UFO hiding beneath a building in Nebraska, and the story never went anywhere. I mean, it's going to be hard to prove that one. I don't think anyone's storming this building in Nebraska yet, like they tried with Area 51. But as of last night, we saw all this stuff with Anna Paulina Luna, and I mentioned she called out the whistleblowers. She didn't name Louis Elizondo, whatever his name is, by name, but she mentioned a bunch, and she said they didn't show up to the skiffs to give more information. So
in the last 24 hours, we've had Blue Beam, Brown Lady, Black Cube, and I mentioned the Orange Blob.
Yep, Brandon.
Does anybody want the side action on something being green?
Well, we know there's a lot of things being green thrown around at WNBA games. But the Anna Paulina Luna stuff has even blown up, talking about drama in the UFO world. Elizondo responded to her saying she's full of it, basically, and she responded back saying you never show up. So is it all part of this giant orchestration to confuse everyone, to get everyone to disbelieve it or believe it, or just is it fog of war to keep everyone confused? And I think that, honestly, my gut says that's probably where we're at, is just keep the people confused and distracted. This used to be this was taboo to talk about for so long. Even when they were doing something like Project Blue Book, it was still taboo to talk about in society. And now we're talking about it. We're seeing all these big articles about it, big videos, podcast after podcast. Look at this one. And people care, but I don't know if people actually believe. So it's very interesting to me to see where this is going to go. As the hostile probe approaches, do people start to care more? We've also got these city-sized asteroids hurtling towards Earth, a new one every week. I think it was 3 the last I checked, honestly. I don't know. It's fascinating to me to watch it go down, but I think whether you believe in this stuff or not, whether you find it fascinating or not, to me, what's really important is why we're having these discussions at such high levels. Last week we saw Tulsi Gabbard respond to it. We see Trump responding to it. We're seeing all these big names responding to it more and more. Anna Paulina Luna was on Rogan yesterday talking about this is high level. That is the new mainstream. The podcast obviously has supplanted mainstream corporate TV. That's why Trump used the podcast world and Patel, all those guys, Bongino, because it helped him get elected. And now we're seeing the podcast world kind of in conflict with these people, in my opinion, because they go on now after the election and it's like appetizers. The conversations are like appetizers. We're not really getting much information, despite them being the most transparent administration in history. And in some ways, we are learning things, and hopefully some of those things lead to arrests. It's not so much in the inverted world in terms of a Russiagate thing, but when it comes to the drones, when it comes to all these hearings about the UFOs, and now we got this probe heading our way. Will we get answers, or is it just us chasing after our own tails? What do you guys think? In the meantime, let's start talking about dogs. Let's get to this first dog story. I was like, we'll end the week on the nice, just talk about dogs.
Are we being invaded?
By dogs.
And now puppies.
It's Air Bud. Well, first up is this dog in Alabama. It's been bringing home human bones for nearly a year, baffling investigators.
We're baffled.
I mean, this is a baffling story. Listen to this. A family dog in Alabama has dragged home human remains 4 times in less than a year after finding them in nearby woods, turning a quiet neighborhood into the front line of a chilling homicide probe. I should probably get a thing in here, but every time I have to say probe on this show.
We can just make Renee drink. I think Renee's been playing drinking games
okay, so add
in
probe.
Chat. So just throw anytime
awesome.
the word probe gets said tonight, you guys got to drink.
Hostile probe. Deputies responded to on August 9th after a homeowner in the Center Point area reported that their 2-year-old German Shepherd mix, Shikarin, had once again brought home what appeared to be part of a human skeleton, according to local stations. The remains were recovered and sent to Jefferson County Coroner's Office. Investigators also searched a nearby wooded area where they found additional remains. AL.com reported that Mejia found the bone in the front yard of her home. That's something nice to find. And recalled thinking only one thing. Oh, she did it again.
Oops, I did it again.
We just got a strike.
I found human bones.
That's good.
All right.
We'll do a remix for Inverted World.
No,
we'll
that's the last time you'll hear me sing a Britney song like ever.
Yeah, please clip that, people.
I will not make
clip
you guys go through that
and
again.
Send it to Brandon on Twitter. He's at Brando Inverted. It's the latest twist in a series of grim discoveries involving Shikarin. The investigation began on August 20th, 2024. So it was like a year of bones when Mejia's husband spotted the family's 2 dogs, Shikarin and another named Shikaron, who is no longer with the family, playing with a skull on the roadway next to their home. He just saw her with the other dog playing with a skull, he told the outlet. My husband was like, that does not look right. He called the police, she added. Okay,
think?
fair enough. They didn't believe it was human remains until detectives came out here. An autopsy revealed the skull had a gunshot wound, per the outlets. A DNA profile was created but did not match anyone in national databases. That's good. The plot thickens. Then, in December 2024, as the drones were flying everywhere, just want to put that out there for context, Shikarin returned with a human tibia.
Probe. That's the word, sorry.
Oh, yeah, right. Probe, sorry. Which forensic testing confirmed belonged to the same person as the skull. On April 10th, Shikarin was found with a femur in the yard, and a search of the property also turned up a human mandible, or jawbone, for those who don't know, it's put in there by Yahoo News, that also belonged to the same victim. This dog is just picking apart the same poor skeleton. Authorities are now testing the August 9th remains to determine whether they also belong to the same victim the outlets reported. They keep saying that, I guess, because Yahoo News, I guess, lifted this entire story from somewhere else. Investigators have placed a tracking device on Shakaran to try to pinpoint where she's finding the bones. I am actually very surprised and proud of them because they have helped for over a year to help discover the body, Mejia told WBRC. Mejia described the ordeal to AL.com as upsetting. You don't know who the person is or how long he has been missing. For my pup to be bringing this stuff home all the time. I mean, how long do you let your dog out so unsupervised? I mean, I lived in the woods.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I was thinking. I'm just like, you're just letting your dog like just run free around the neighborhood?
Just find those bones.
It's kind of a dick move.
It is. She also said that she and her husband, Orlin, all these names are wild, I think possibly fake. The Vikings, like what is Orlin, had been cooperating with law enforcement in the investigation. Okay. But then a little over a week ago, she said, Immigration and Custom Enforcement agents detained him and took him to a facility in Louisiana.
Oh, shit.
The plot really thickens. The plot really thickens.
Whoa.
This family got probed. Now it's my time to experience it, finding the remains. Mejia, who was born in Texas.
Ah, nice. I like how they threw that in there.
Who was born in Texas,
a born citizen.
Yeah. The dog finding the bones got them deported. That's messed up. Shakaran has become something of a local celebrity with social media users making jokes ranging from the dog joining the police force
I was
being
going to
somehow
say
responsible for death. Yeah, this is a movie.
They're trying to sign a lot of people up to be ICE agents right now for a decent amount of money. You got a dog that has successfully deported one.
Your owner should have treated him. Orlin, you should have treated Shakaran better. This is a movie in the making. This is a Disney movie in the making. Now under Trump, this is the next Disney movie. Shakaran, the ice dog. There are comments saying, "Oh, the owners may be the killers," Mejia said. That's definitely not fun. I bet your husband being deported is also not fun.
That's a pretty serious allegation.
I missed that one paragraph when I read this earlier. I am genuinely shocked that it took that turn.
I mean, holy shit, because that opens up a whole nother array of questions. Like, outside of them detaining this man and exporting him, if you will, what the hell? Have they investigated the family further?
They have to.
Did they okay, well, now we got to search your house and, have forensics go through the entire lineup to see if maybe they're harboring the remains or the rest of the remains or any other remains of anybody else, and...
Was her husband a serial killer? Is she about to find out that
Is she a serial killer?
Did she set him up?
Is she
the
just
dog
a killer?
serial
Was
killer?
it just one thing? Maybe she was pissed at somebody.
True. This is true. Yeah, there's a lot of questions here, so I'm going to be keeping up with this story. When I saw the headline, I was instantly intrigued, but now as I read it more, I am way more interested in this story.
Yeah, I didn't see it going there. It's pretty
not see it going there. So that's the story of the dog bringing home bones. I grew up surrounded by horse graves on a horse farm, many of which I dug, and my dogs never brought home horse bones. They did bring home deer bones and possums and rabbits. Real ones, not robot ones in the Everglades.
Perhaps you were just more efficient at digging the graves.
I'm very good at digging a grave.
Shane Cashman, horse grave digger.
I'm really good at digging grave. Yeah, I mean, it's
The Undertaker.
horrible memories of burying my beloved horses.
No, that sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah, this is before, when I was young. I said last night, I was literally one at my first horse funeral on my mother's back, one of those backpacks. And I don't remember that one, but she's told me it since. And but that was my whole life.
I've never heard anyone say that sentence before either. At my first horse funeral.
There were many. And then I rode horses. I was a barrel racer for 15 years, where you go really fast around barrels and poles and do the Navajo blanket and stuff like that. So I took care of horses. That was my life for 15 years. As this wayward cowboy who had buck teeth and a mullet, and I also listened to Tupac.
Barrel rider, like in The Hobbit.
Is that
Smaug is
Hobbit?
Lovely titles. Barrel rider.
I look like a hobbit.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, and I did that. So I buried lots of horses, and walking your horse to the grave because it's so on death's door. Horrible memory.
Holy shit! You were bringing them there before.
You had to, and then you had to. We didn't shoot them.
Oh, so you had to euthanize them in some way, shape, or form.
They were it was. You know what? It was horrible, and I wish there were other ways of doing it. I think there are,
Which I'm not even trying to make you relive this.
No, yeah, let's do it.
This trauma, but
let's do it.
Now my head has immediately gone to No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
With that thing that
we
used to blow out the doors.
That's like a cattle thing they used. It was like a vet would come out and give him some terrible death liquid and injection. And, it was like for these horses somehow would always get up and, I mean, this is really gruesome and people don't need to hear it, but sometimes horses would get into trouble where how do I clean this up? You really can't. Their intestines would be everywhere and they could still walk and you had to take them because we couldn't afford to put the intestines back in. Horrible. But then when someone donated a tractor, we were able to have the tractor carry the horse to the grave that we dug, and also it could dig a grave. So the shovels went back into the shed, and we had a machine dig the big hole. But that's all to say, our dogs, and I had a shepherd, did not open up those graves. And it also just reminded me of when I was doing the Long Island serial killer story. A cadaver dog is what blew up that whole story. The cadaver dog name was Blue, and they were training him to find skeletons on Long Island. I always forget if Alex was watching, our Long Island resident. And it found a set of remains, and then it kept finding remains. And they thought it was one woman who went missing, Shannon Gilbert, and turned out they found like 3 or 4 other women who were hookers on like Craigslist. And then they found her, seriously. And they think it was all that one guy who is he's in custody but has no court date. And I went and saw him get arraigned before the judge because I've been writing about it for 10 years. And this dude is like he's not 7 feet tall, but he's like 6'5", 6'6", huge dude. But that story, the Long Island serial killer story, has a lot of intersections with dogs finding remains out there on Long Island. And I even knew a guy whose dog found one of the remains by the alleged serial killer out there. So it happens. And I think this might blow up into something bigger. Maybe, if the gunshot wound is self-inflicted and that's all they'll find out, if it was in the skull, or maybe something way weirder when it comes to this bizarre dog ice story. What do we got next? Let's go to the dire wolves. That took a dark turn with the horses. I'm sorry.
That's all right,
this is
because
my life.
The dire wolves are going to cheer everybody up.
This is my life.
It's literally just like a 2-minute video of them frolicking around, having a great time. This will be much less sad than what we just made Shane do. Shane, if you need a minute, I can. I'm
looking to see how I upset you people, but I am so sorry. It's so much worse too. Like like having to be like the 5 and 6 year old who has seen a horse funeral in the weekend and has to go back to school on a Monday.
When did they start making you dig these graves? What age?
Well, I wasn't digging at 5 or 6, but I would be at all of them.
I was like, shit, man.
No. I didn't dig it that young. I dug them when I was probably like 11, 12, 13. I stopped writing when I was like 15 to play music, but that was my life.
I feel like 15 was the age, wasn't it? It's like 14, 15 was when it was just like, what, to hell with this. I'm going to go be a musician. I'm not wearing this stupid cowboy hat anymore, or those jeans, or I had a giant belt buckle. I was pretty good. I had a giant belt buckle. You could eat off this thing. How big? Can you give us a... Oh, it was like that big. Holy shit. I'll bring it in one day. I have it. Cowboy Cashman.
Yeah. But I should say all these horses weren't my own. My parents managed a farm, and there was many horses, and sometimes they just got so sick there was no coming back. And I wish there was another way to do it and just bring them all back, because I love horses. Someone recently asked me if horses were fake, and I forgot to respond. I think some might be fake, but I'd like to think most horses are real. So, all right. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised now. I saw there was it a video that you tossed in earlier with like the fake, it was like a sheep or something?
Oh, yeah. I forgot
and it was basically walking like one of the robot dogs, but it was out in one of the herds kind of like kicking around, and you could see the other sheep were like, what the fuck is that? You're
really opening up some crazy memories in me right now, because there are fake horses when it comes to artificial insemination with race horses.
when they it's two guys kind of dressed up in like the costume, and they're doing this, and
so
my God.
My parents were harness racers before, right up until I was a year old. That's where they're on a buggy and they're racing really fast, and a lot of those horses, they never owned those horses, but they would race them for the owners. And I have early memories of having to go to these freaking artificial insemination things at these giant farms, like plantations in Goshen, New York, for our caller out there from Goshen. It was in Goshen, and they have a fake horse, and not cool. I am scarred, Mom, if you're watching. Do you want to rip open any other memories while we're at it, Brandon?
I'm really trying not to.
Because
it's just working out so well on complete accident. This was not planned. Guys, the show is not scripted outside of the articles that he sends
so just
me.
everyone out there, imagine now the house I grew up in with the shadow hand that turned out to be myself, surrounded by horse graves, many of which I helped dig, on a landfill. The horse graveyard was in a landfill, and I will end this soon so I can talk about direwolves. But the landfill was capped and beautiful, and we turned it into a landfill unofficially because it's actually illegal to do burials like that in New York of horses. Too bad. Everyone's gone now. It's fine. And at one point, the people who ran the landfill decided to turn the whole thing upside down to like flip it like a pancake. And they didn't.
No.
They didn't do the horse graves. So they did, but I couldn't see them. I went and walked through the debris, and it was a landfill. So there was a lot of weird stuff up there. But the one thing that stood out, it was glinting in the sun, was a big black bowling ball, and its name was Black Beauty, of all things. Of all things, famous Black Beauty, the horse. So, all right, that's enough for horses.
I'm going to add that to the list of things that are colored and weird. Black Beauty bowling ball. That is 4 Bs.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. You guys are probing my childhood. I am not into it. Am I red? I see. Who said that? Project Mayhem. I am. I'm like exposing so much of my childhood with the horses. You know,
it's good to get this shit out, man.
Pokemon says, "Why do we kill the horses? Because they were about to die, and it was something you couldn't fix, and it was more humane. So we thought to put them to sleep soundly, than to let them suffer. And it was gruesome, like gruesome things. You know, the intestines is not even the worst of it. There's way more. You're on a farm your whole life. You see some really dark stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, my face is super red, huh? Okay.
No, it's really
Thanks,
not.
Renee.
So that's the thing. I don't know what that appearance
in the room,
thing is.
I'm not
He's
red.
literally normal in front of me right now.
Normal.
So that's, I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting.
No, I feel exposed. But let's talk about direwolves.
Yeah, let's go back to puppies and happiness and fucking rainbows
said,
and ice
stop
cream.
horsing around.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's watch puppies.
So the sound in this is just a frolicky, prancy Disney music something or other. So I'm not going to bother with that. But you guys can watch the wolves play because that's always fun.
Look at this. And so, this
I
is
actually break this down so they can read
this
the
is
writing
from
here, but...
Colossal Biosciences. These are the direwolves that we have talked about in the past. They are just now meeting for the first time. The boys, Romulus and Remus, were alone together, and their sister Khaleesi was in her own thing, and they just let them meet for the first time.
What the hell just happened?
And I think they were worried that they wouldn't get along and might hurt each other. That is not a direwolf. That is a commercial.
It could be.
Is that an Oracle commercial? Oh my goodness!
Oh Christ! Yeah, no.
Goodness!
Let me just
Oracle.
No, what? Look away. Divert your eyes.
That's Larry Ellison, guys. That's the guy who wants to keep you on your best behavior with cameras everywhere.
Maybe we should watch this. They're talking about like AI and stuff.
Oh jeez. No, they're gonna try to MK Ultra us. But yeah, I see you out there, BV Luminous. Not real direwolves. That is exactly where I was gonna go next. They're aesthetically looking like direwolves, but inside they're just gray wolves. But these people are trying to bring, they call it de-extinction, and they're trying to bring back the direwolf. Although, they just look like what they think direwolves look like.
And this was Colossal that did this, right?
This is Colossal.
Okay.
And we should. There wasn't much else about this story. I just wanted to look at puppies. I didn't know I would actually emotionally need that after having to spill my guts about horses. That's also, I can't believe I just said that after the intestine story. But there you go. Let's look at the Colossal Biosciences website because I think it's fascinating. Absolutely It's actually a beautiful website. But you guys, you remember these people, right? They were on Rogan. The one guy was talking about the direwolves. I just want to read from some of this because what they're doing is wild. And I think this direwolf stuff is just the beginning. Oh, and I want to say really quick just how interesting it is, the name choices. Khaleesi, we know from Game of Thrones. You know, she becomes the mother of the dragons, the dragon mother, whatever you call her. It's been a long time since I saw it.
Mother of dragons.
And she destroys everything in the end. But Romulus and Remus are way interesting to me because those are the names of the boys who founded Rome. And all the art, the mythology that goes along with them is that they were abandoned and they suckled on the teat of a wolf. And that's like the lore of Romulus and
So they
Remus.
actually put thought into those names, is what you're saying.
100%.
And then they just went balls to the wall with Khaleesi for the third.
Yeah. This one's going to destroy. So Colossal is the company that's going to fix it. And they're talking about de-extinction here. Combining the science of genetics with the business of discovery, we endeavored to jumpstart nature's ancestral heartbeat, to see the woolly mammoth thunder upon tundra once again, to advance the economies of biology and healing through genetics, to make humanity more human. What does that mean? And to reawaken the lost wilds of Earth so we and our planet can breathe easier. I don't know if we're going to be breathing easier.
No, not according to Bill Gates.
Well, he's going to suffocate the sun while these guys set loose saber-toothed tigers. Literally, they want to do saber-toothed tiger and the woolly mammoth.
Yeah, but the methane farts, man.
That's right. They're going to kill all the cows to bring back the woolly mammoths.
And then the mammoths are going to...
AOC is going to kill the woolly
something
mammoths.
other than methane.
Yep.
They're going to fart fresh O2 or something, and it's going to make the air breathable again.
Yep. President Cyborg AOC will have to kill off all the woolly mammoths because their farts are just so detrimental to the atmosphere.
I'll tell you what right now, the de-extinction thing. Oh, let's introduce you to de-extinction. Well, put this shit back out into the wild and watch how fast poachers and trophy hunters show you what re-extinction is.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Are they just going to have these things in captivity forever? I mean, they kind of have to be.
So here's the thing: if they're de-extinct now, that means they're still on the endangered species list, right?
Some of them are just totally extinct for tens of thousands of years,
right?
According to them.
But the assumption of bringing a breed back from extinction returns them to the endangered species list immediately because there's such a small number of them, which means, okay, now there's protective laws around them.
Oh, my.
So, yes, until they get to a certain population, I would say that they have to be maintained and protected. And
do they get those rights? That's a crazy thing to think about.
I guess it's also dependent on where they are in the world. Now, if this was done, this is an American company, I'm assuming, so this is probably done in America, in which case, I believe they do have those inalienable animal rights.
Where are they from? Where is Colossal Bioscience?
Wherever this lab is located, I'm assuming.
I'm going to guess California, but I'm wrong. I'm so wrong. I should have known this. Texas. This is way more Texas than California.
Tejas.
Everything's bigger in California, like the woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
But they talk about how many species are being lost and how their solution is this de-extinction. Functional application of advanced gene editing technology aimed at rebuilding the DNA of lost megafauna and other creatures that had a measurably positive impact on our fragile ecosystems. See, like the wording sounds Californian to me, but the product seems very Texas.
Well, it also sounds like contractual.
Yeah.
Like somebody writes up a fancy-ass contract to confuse the shit out of you so you don't know what you're signing and you agree to it anyway.
You're right.
It's kind of what I'm seeing from this. And I mean,
what does
again,
it mean?
this is the intro to Jurassic Park.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
what does it mean to make humans more human? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's here on the
ask AI, see if AI's figured it out yet.
I'm not asking AI.
That's what it's been trying to do since its
true
birth, if that's what you want to call it.
More human than human. This is DNA and the new dawn of genetics. This is incomprehensibly microscopic. Yet this is Colossal, the advanced genetics and biosciences company that's developing the science that will save us, our planet, and the species that inhabit it.
It's tremendous.
It's tremendous. You can see here they're bringing back the woolly mammoth.
It's on its way.
It's on its way. In the minds of many, this creature is gone forever, but not in the minds of our scientists, nor the labs of our company. This is so dystopian and wild. Like, do you guys think this is cool? Like, I think it's interesting, but should we be doing this? Should this be happening? Like, the argument for it from people who agree with this stuff is like, and it doesn't apply to the woolly mammoth, although maybe. They'll say it applies to something like the dodo bird or something. that humans had something to do with its extinction, so we are obligated to bring it back. I don't know if we actually had anything to do with the dodo bird extinction, but do you think that we are obligated to bring back something that we did make? I guess the buffalo, they talk about how we killed so many buffalo, and they are making buffalo as well. But what do you got here? What you're
Editing
highlighting?
the genes.
Yeah, that's it. It's that easy. It's that easy.
As Sydney Sweeney as it sounds.
Oh,
that's usually where shit goes wrong, and that's where it went wrong in Jurassic Park. Was they messed with the genes to try to make them all female, and they still found a way to reproduce.
Yep.
So, because according to the great Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way.
Yes. We should do an inverted world commercial for Great Genes with these things. Woolly Mammoth and Levi's or whatever company that was. We did have something to do with the dodo.
We'll get labeled as racist and canceled immediately for absolutely no reason.
Oh, no. We also made the stellar sea cow go extinct, the passenger pigeon, the great auk. We did, they say, make the woolly mammoth go, the Tasmanian tiger, Caribbean monk seal, the Atlas bear. So I'm sure there's a whole list of things that they're going to try to bring back. I personally don't think we should be toying with this whatsoever. But let me know what you guys think. I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Do
you feel like we're obligated to bring back the dodo bird? Because
the one side of me is like, holy shit, science.
Right.
LFG. But
Right.
the other side of me is like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
I don't think this is good for the environment. I think it's actually.
Well, no, absolutely not. And I mean, so mammoths, for example, they live in colder Arctic temperatures, no? Which is why they found a lot of these preserved, is because they were found
Allegedly.
in Arctic areas, right?
Yep.
And they're heavily furred. I mean,
Oh God,
we can barely keep polar bears around.
You
guys are going to reintroduce a species that lives in the Arctic with, the caps melting every other year.
This is why Bill Gates wants to block the sun.
For mammoths.
Bring about a cooler world for the mammoths to walk free amongst us.
Yeah, and then he's going to do some weird shit with mosquitoes and kill everybody.
Mosquitoes with no proboscis. But let's real quick, before we get to calls, just look at this new UFO video. It's been going around. The British man. This is another dog story.
Nettie.
British man playing fetch with dog.
Nettie the pooch.
Accidentally records possible UFO zooming through. If we can make this big, because it's a tough one to see.
It really is. I tried. Let me see if I can up the quality on this here. I tried to watch this earlier, and you don't even the first play. You don't even see. So I've already kind of moved the video cursor up so that we get the zoomed in version, because it's very hard to see. But watch for yourselves. It's gonna be in this area around here where the frisbee comes in. Did you see it?
There you have it.
We'll go back a little bit.
A brand new UFO video.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left. A clown.
Is it a bug?
So, I mean, it looks like somebody fired an arrow past him, honestly.
It does look like an arrow.
The way that trajectory kind of comes out of nowhere, though, it looks like it was sitting higher at a higher point, and it was kind of coming down, and then it just kind of cruises past him.
Can we look at the dog now? Does the dog?
The dog doesn't seem to notice it. It's so focused on the damn frisbee.
Yeah.
Who can blame the dog?
Who can blame the dog
for not giving a shit about something flying through the sky? But I can tell you, this thing doesn't make any noise, which it doesn't help when they slow it down and you can't hear anything. You need the. Now, in that version, I don't even see anything happen.
It's so fast.
It's literally the blink of an eye. Watch this. So, I mean, that thing, whatever the hell that was, it was moving really, really, really fast.
It's fast.
And it was absolutely silent. So, yeah, I don't think the dog would have noticed that, even if it was real.
Yeah. Joe, I see you in there. He said, I saw a saucer-shaped UAP, a.k.a. a Frisbee.
That was the first thing I thought, too. I'm like, oh, come on. It's a damn Frisbee. And then I seen the thing kind of fly past. I'm like, oh, okay. You got me.
That's a rod, Asmo says. I've been seeing him again recently myself. I saw some other people saying it was a rod.
I mean, it looks like that.
ID Shadow says dragonfly. Yeah, my first thought was possibly a bug. It's really fast, but who knows? Who knows if it's been manipulated? You know, who knows if it's even there? It looks like it's part of the video, but a lot of lies lately. You know, they showed us a whole Epstein video that had no cuts in it, and then we find out there was 3 minutes missing.
Not even lately. A lot of lies for decades.
Oh yeah, do you think they've been lying to us for more than just a year?
Hell yeah.
Really? You're kidding. You're kidding.
You're kidding.
I'm kidding.
You're the one kidding.
I think they've been telling us the truth this whole time, and that they just started lying to us during COVID.
Well, what was that? I saw that tweet you posted that was like, I don't trust the government for anything or something along those lines unless it's information about UFOs.
Right, because I was thinking about that while watching Anna Paulina Luna, because like I know she didn't believe a lot of stuff. You know, she ran for Congress years ago. And I've been following her like ascendancy through politics, and she's, you know, I very much agree with her on a lot of the questions she has of the government. But it's like now she's telling Rogan to his face, "I trust these people. The government has all this evidence." I'm like, really? Why now? Just because it confirms your bias. Like, my only advice to everybody is if anything is confirming your bias in the news, you should be skeptical. It doesn't mean everyone's lying to you, but I think most people are.
Honestly, I don't think for a second that old Joey trusts the government. Even if he says he does.
No. I don't think he does.
And that's one of those things where it's like, you know, you can overlook a lie like that. You know, it's one of those things I would probably consider like a white lie, because it's just like, hey, you know, like, yeah, I totally trust these guys. But that's also super dangerous. Mm-hmm. And if you don't actually feel that way and you're encouraging your fans and your followers and stuff like that to kind of go with the flow with the government, oh, well, you know, I look up to Joe Rogan. He trusts him. So why the hell shouldn't I, you know?
Right.
It's a dangerous slope.
I think he doesn't believe it. I think he's being a little kind to the guests.
And I'm just basing that all off of just how he's been, you know, for the longest time, you know, and how he's come off publicly.
But he has, and we're kind of here because of what I'm about to say. Like the first interview he did with Jack Dorsey sucked, and him and Tim connected. And Tim was like, we got to do a better interview with Dorsey because this is a big deal, right? He still owned Twitter. And then we got Tim. It's one of my favorite podcasts of all time is when Tim confronted Dorsey and what was her name? The lawyer. And he eviscerated them. And I thought that was such an important episode. And Rogan, I saw in him at that point that he cared to extract more information because he was missing a whole thing.
And we've seen it a bunch of times with him.
We have seen it a bunch of times. And he said recently about the Patel interview that he kind of wasn't really buying it. I'm putting words in his mouth. It's not exactly what he said. But basically he said he let the internet decide, which is fair. You know, I get it. But, you know, he's being, I don't want to say he's being used, but the administration is dropping their people into the podcast to just say things. And they're able to not have any answers for any pushback. Because he did ask any question we would ask of her if she were on this show, like, well, what have you seen? What is the thing you've seen? And she's like, I can't say. And yeah, Vijaya Gotti. Thank you, Spencer. I think that is the name. I don't know if you spelled it right, but that is exactly how I read it. But like, he laughs at a certain point, and then you can see him kind of swerve the conversation into another place. I don't think he's buying it because there's something obviously missing. The answers, anything. You know, all we've seen is blurry videos, blurry photographs, whistleblowers that I don't think we can trust. So I don't know. I don't know how we got to that point, but that video with Tim and Dorsey and Rogan is so interesting and so fascinating. Still holds up today because the algorithm that we are dealing with on Twitter, it has it baked into its DNA a lot of the things Dorsey believed on that show. Like it still thinks certain things are bad, even though it became Mecha Hitler, because we can radicalize Grok, which is hilarious. There's still things in it where it will ban you for ridiculous reasons, just like Dorsey would have and his team, but now they've outsourced it to like, AI doing it. And, I'm sure you guys have seen tons of people who've been banned for no reason. Whereas they're posting porn, they're posting beheadings. We're seeing people all the time dying. Like, I don't even follow these people. And there's videos on my feed of like, this person just fell from space. It's like something horrible. Like they fell off a cliff or their parachute didn't open.
No,
or they were shot in the head.
Even if you're kind of just scrolling through your shit, if you even stop for a second and get like a few seconds of play on a video just because you're like, what the hell is this?
Yep.
Automatically now the algorithm thinks that you want to see more of this shit.
I know.
And your whole feed turns into real faces of death.
Faces of death. Yep. Did you say real faces of death?
Yeah.
Yeah, because not everyone knows that a lot of that was staged. But there was a lot of like real, actual death.
The original real faces of death were VHSs that you could get at Blockbuster when that still existed, Family Video, all that shit. You could go rent, and they were in the adult section.
Yep.
So you had to go in like the porn section to go find death VHSs, but they had them in there, and they were all just homemade videos from people showing deaths. Like this was the only place that you could see people getting shot,
eating monkey
in
brain.
clubs, gang violence, people just dead from shootouts and stuff,
Machetes.
crime scene videos, guys jumping off of water towers and all kinds of crazy shit. I seen there was one where like a guy was trying to pull apart somewhere in like an auto yard, and he accidentally dropped the jack and it cut like his leg off, but he was trapped underneath the cylinder and he couldn't pull his leg out, and they were so rural that they had called for help, but it was just a guy or two guys standing there with him recording him while he was dying, and then he eventually just bleeds out and dies. And no one's there to help, and it's just like, why the hell are we watching this shit?
Yeah, it's
like,
terrible. So how can that stuff exist? Because it is, a lot of that stuff is still on Twitter, and how can that stuff exist, but then someone says something, I don't know, you're criticizing Israel or who knows what, or you said, I've been demonetized on Twitter now for like a month because I said Grok was 100,000 Indians typing really fast in a sweatshop. I think it is, but like, I don't really care. I hate monetized Twitter. I think it's made Twitter worse. But why is that bad? Whereas I can easily scroll and see, and Elon's posting like anime porn. I don't know. Devin, what'd you say? Shane looks like a younger version of that guy from Firefly. Don't take offense to it. Most people think I look like Eddie Munster. I remember Firefly. I'm not remember which one that was, but probably.
Don't
I
mess
get that
with him.
sometimes.
Shane is a cowboy and an undertaker.
Yeah, but I do turn red when I talk about horse intestines, and I have a giant forehead because I'm a mutant that grew up on a landfill.
Hell yeah.
But let's get to callers.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's bring on Chris Martin.
Someone mentioned Rotten. I forgot about Rotten.
Rotten.com, yeah.
That was enlightened fool.
When you're first getting computer room is what we had in high school. It was just a bunch of people just trying to get to the back of the class so that they could go to Rotten and just look at terrible, terrible shit. That was also people just dying left and right and just horrible, terrible shit.
Yep.
Not even cool.
Value and You said that's the podcast I started following. Tim, me too. I was super impressed. I still think that's one of the more important podcasts that's happened.
Yeah, we're getting join delay with this one.
Denise said, I don't trust anyone in politics or the newspaper. Good. Don't even trust us. I don't even trust me.
That's a real statement right there. Not being able to trust yourself is just the worst thing ever. Like,
I mean, you know how like firsthand witness accounts go. Our perception is so warped by so many things that they can be very unreliable. Obviously we should listen to them, but it's not always. It's like when people say, the whole Douglas Murray thing, you haven't been there. On the ground reporting is amazing and you should do it, but it doesn't mean that you're the authority of the truth now just because you've been there. Also, no. Douglas Murray was given like a nice little PR tour from Netanyahu, like Elon gets and a lot of other people get. You're on the fringes, you're on the edges of a war. You're not in the war, and you're also getting one side. So having been there means nothing. So on the ground reporting is amazing. It doesn't happen enough. We talked about 6'7" Kevin doing actual on the ground reporting, and it's incredible. And you get footage of it, so you can determine exactly how you feel. But
I think flawed. I think it's very important to have that.
Oh yeah.
But I also think it's very important that all of that stuff still be corroborated and second guessed at all costs too, because that's also a dangerous slope when it comes to being able to control the narrative.
Yep. I totally agree. And that's all they want. Everything is a war on the narrative. Alex Jones named his show so perfectly. InfoWars is great because that is all it is. What did he say? Nathan Fillion. Oh, nice. Nathan. Hey, that's all right. He's a handsome guy.
Which they actually, that happened with the Boston bombing, didn't it? Some fucking side street cell phone journalist accused the wrong people or the wrong person of being the bomber. I vaguely remember this.
I know, maybe not Boston, but that did happen for the Olympics bombing. Like, it might have happened at Boston too. It happens a lot.
Oh, it's happened a couple of times for sure. But I think specifically before the Sarnevs were named, it was somebody else, and it was just because of street journalists. Just, hey, this guy's the bomber. Put his face out everywhere, and everybody just instantly jumped on it, and they were fucking wrong. And these poor guys, wherever they were, are like, okay, now we're subject one of a massive national manhunt.
Awful.
For all of maybe 24 hours before I think they debunked it. But that's still terrifying, and all your friends and your family are like, what?
Yeah,
like,
it's horrible.
I can't even imagine that.
Or it's like the news reporting on someone dying before the family finds out.
So this dude got bounced.
All right, well, let's
right
go to
the hell
next.
out of here.
Derek said E-Bombs World. That's another.
I remember E-Bombs World.
Yeah,
I spent a good amount of time on E-Bombs. There was a lot of fun stuff on that too.
Yeah.
3brain.com was also hilarious.
I remember that one. Speaking of Rogan too, and Tripoli, I saw that Tripoli's on Rogan. I think it'll be tomorrow, so that should be interesting. Because whenever Rogan brings Tripoli on, Sam's allowed to go to town and say wild, amazing stuff. So I bet Sam will have a lot to say. I could be wrong, but I bet Sam will have a lot to say about the Paulina stuff. He'll certainly have a lot to say about Epstein. I love Sam. He's great. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Let's try bringing on another person here. I don't know what the hell happened with the last one. He just never joined and then disappeared. So.
Denise said, wow, we are going really dark today. Yeah, I didn't mean for that to happen. It's been I had a lovely day with my kids. You know what? I have another story for you that's dark. I'm going to tell it right now. Do you mind?
I don't mind. Really we do have a guest.
The caller. We'll get to you in just 2 seconds. I had a lovely day with my children,
anyway.
and I just like 2 weeks ago cleaned out my sink, and all of a sudden, it was like clogged again. I'm like, what the heck happened? So I got a new little snake, and this is disgusting. So you guys can skip forward 10 seconds, but since we're already here, I don't care. I've already spilled all my guts. There was like a creature that was dead in my drain that I pulled out. It looked like a mouse, but it had claws and fangs. I swear, it looked like a chupacabra. So that's how my day went. That's why I'm telling you guys about all my trauma. And now I'm unloading on you. Thanks for tuning in.
Guns blazing.
It was
from
disgusting.
Cowboy Cashman tonight.
It was disgusting. So
man,
that's what's been going on. I've been shaving right above a chupacabra stuck in my pipe.
Wesley, you are on the show. Can
Hi,
you
Wesley.
Unmute your mic. This might be This might be a bathroom dweller. Hang on.
Bathroom dweller.
Nope.
Is it the creature from my sink?
Wesley, can you hear us?
Oh, what's up? Mole. Might have been a mole.
Nothing too much. I had a really funny, morbid story about dogs and burying them, but that's not that important.
I mean, we're here. It's Thursday. It's up to you. I'm interested.
I'll tell it really quick.
Renee said, "Let's go."
We're putting things in the grave and taking things out of the grave, like Colossal.
I had at the current house I'm living in.
Yep.
I've had 3 dogs, and they've all been hit by cars and died.
Oh,
it's always been quick, and I mean, it's like, yeah, whatever. They're dumbass. They live outside.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the last one, all my 4 kids are like old enough to comprehend the dog, liked the dog, so forth, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I come home from work, and the person watching my kid goes, "Hey, the mail lady said the dog's dead out in the right on the road outside the house." And I was like, "Oh, great." So go out there, I get it. Dog's clearly died right on impact. I'm like, well, there we go with that. Like, throw it to the side, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go tell the kids. So I go and tell the kids. I'm like, guys, come here. So I get all 4 of them next to me. I'm like, the dog got hit by a car, and it's dead. Mm-hmm. And my youngest daughter, she goes, well, it did like to chase cars. And then they all go, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
So it went over fine.
Okay. Well, that's good.
They weren't worried about it at all.
That's tough. Was that their first experience with the death?
No, not at all. Like I'm saying, there was 2 other dogs.
Oh, the other dogs died. Right.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's always scary to tell kids about a death. I don't like it.
You never know how they're gonna take it.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm glad your kids took it all right. It's horrible though. I mean, it's just, I've had so many deaths with animals or loved ones and friends. It's just never good. But I'm glad your kids took it all right, and hopefully they're not scarred.
Right. So, anyways, did those stories sound okay?
I mean, this is a wild card Thursday night. Anything goes.
All right. So I was trying to remember the exact age it was. I must have been about 6, because my older sister had just got her license. She's 10 years older than me, so she just got her license. That would put me at 6. Mm-hmm. I'm not home alone very much. Like, I always have my brother and my siblings and my mom, because we're all homeschooled. So for some reason, my dad was off somewhere. My brother and my sister, they're gone. So it's just me and my mom at home, which was slightly abnormal. But, I gotta lay out the kitchen floor plan. So I'm imagining everyone's got a phone or a TV screen in front of them. If you imagine the right side, like, I don't know, not the charging port side, there's a door there. Mm-hmm. That's the front door. And then on the opposite side, there's a back door. And from the left side, you got bathroom doors, stairs, and then the doors to the living room. And then, again, front door. So my mom's in the bathroom, and being the scared little child I was sitting right by the bathroom door. And I hear someone knocking at the front door. Okay, so I leave from the bathroom door, I go to the front door, and there's nobody there. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I must have heard something. I go back and I sit down, and I remember playing with something or whatever. Again, I'm young. And then I hear knocking again, and it's my dad at the front door. And I'm like, oh, my dad's home. Go over there. Nobody's there. And then I hear my brother and my sister at the back door. So I run to the back door. Okay. Again, nobody there. And at this point, I'm having a fucking panic attack, right? So I go into the kitchen, and I'm standing there, and all of a sudden from the top of the stairs, right? So the middle of the kitchen, you can see up the stairs. And I start hearing something saying, Wesley, Wesley, Wesley. And I back up as far as I can, so that way I can't see the top of the stairs. And then at some point, I start freaking out so bad, I run and start banging on the bathroom door. My mom comes out mad at me, right? Because why the hell are you just banging on the bathroom door? And I told her, and she told me she didn't hear anything.
That's crazy. And was that it? That was just
no. There's a whole bunch of shit that kept happening in my life, but that was the first thing I remember.
What do you think it was addressing you by name like that?
I don't know. It knew what I was. I mean, with experiences I've had later in my life, I have friends.
Did you say I have friends?
He did.
Yeah, I have friends.
Okay.
They come around sometimes.
You're talking about friends that are not from this world?
Well, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And
I mean, it's as adulthood moved on, and
do they?
It just doesn't scare me anymore. Sometimes I'll have something weird happen, and it's just you idiots. You really think that's still gonna get me?
Has it stayed the same?
Thuds in the night.
Has it stayed the same? The name, the one that called your name. Do you hear that one again with the same voice?
No, not in particular. I don't know which one not. Because there's one, one of them's a curly-headed girl. And what's weird about that one is that my mom saw it first.
What'd she say?
She didn't have anything to say about it. I haven't told her that I saw it too. She was laying in bed one night and woke up to see some curly-headed like girl crouching in her doorway of her room. Got pissed, fucking laid over the other side and went to sleep.
Sheesh.
Mm-hmm. At least that's what she told me.
Do you see dog ghosts?
No.
Okay.
Lack of dog ghosts.
Sorry.
Well, I wouldn't say like I see ghosts. You know what I mean? It's not like they're walking around.
He has friends, not best friends.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It's just like some weird shit will happen, and it's like, really?
That's wild, dude. Well, I appreciate you calling in and sharing that, and feel free to call back and tell us if you've got some more visits from your friends.
Oh, yeah, man, I do.
Thanks, Wesley. Have a good night.
I do see, who is this here? Danker said, as a fourth-generation funeral director, they need to learn early, talking about kids and death. Otherwise, it's shocking later on. That's how I agree. I mean, it's always horrible, but I noticed that I was different, clearly, than a lot of kids at school who just never experienced death. And it just made you celebrate life so much more, and also celebrate the dead. And just, grieving is brutal, and everyone has their own way of doing it. But I grew up knowing people who were in their 15, 16, then 20, and then in my 30s that had never experienced any death. And it was very bizarre to me. And our society has divorced itself in many ways from death, where we keep it all so hidden and it's behind closed doors and it's taboo. But I'm like, it's going to happen to all of us. It's part of life. And I think it's better to accept that fact and embrace it. Might not be the right word, but just, not run away from it, in terms of like, I've seen people as I get older and I have family who die that just can't be around it. And I understand it. And maybe my childhood that I was just got done telling you guys about prepared me for it, but I'm typically the one who have to be there at the end of people's lives. If it's someone who's about to peace out, like my grandfather or my wife's grandfather, and being there, as they pass away. And it is it's not easy. It's not fun at all. But I don't know. I like to be there with them if, given that opportunity to help them pass along. And it's dark. It's very dark. But, there's something beautiful about it. I don't want anyone to be alone, and people in my family couldn't do it. And I was happy to be there. Like I said, I think I said it last night, my grandfather, this is what I'm talking about, was a hearse driver. So we also had a dark sense of humor.
I could bring mine into play here and say, if I ever get a terminal illness, I'm going to find you a tractor.
Oh, yeah.
And you can throw me in the tractor.
Oh, cool.
And drive me out to one of the fields out here, maybe by the old cemetery that's over there with the other the colonizers here.
Perfect.
And I'll let you dig my hole and everything.
Can we stream it?
Sure, why not?
Perfect.
Hell yeah, make sure you get it on camera. Let
Faces
everybody
of
know.
Death, brand new edition.
Yeah, totally. And then you could put me out of my misery there. Throw me in the hole, and then
I'm not
sure that you bury me the same way, because I don't want some random ass Fido coming and pulling my bones up and revealing that I was murdered by you, because that wouldn't do you any good. And then you're gonna get deported, and then so we'll have a whole thing.
Yeah, no, okay, I'll get deported. Oh, back to Mars. Sweet, man. Well, yeah. Someone said, Kelly K said, dig your what? Dig his grave. I'm a good grave digger. I actually have on the side dug human graves for money.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and that was just like last year. I wrote a whole story about it.
Not to make a pun out of a pun, but this hole just keeps getting deeper.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I mentioned my friend who's a grave digger, and I went out with him and made some money. It's a dark way to make money, but it's very peaceful, and I love graveyards. And
I know what your favorite monster truck is for sure.
Gravedigger.
Absolutely. It has to be.
It is.
I knew it.
Great monster truck. It is a great monster truck.
It's such a badass. I love that thing.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the next caller. Everything is wonderful.
We have absolutely lost our minds tonight,
I have been celebrating like August. All three of my children were born in August. All day I've been thinking about just beauty and God and love. and how much my heart opened every time I
and
hold.
then he comes here.
Each time I held my child for the first time, my heart unfolds infinitely, and I've been thinking about that all day. Celebrate like they're all 4 years apart, each in August, and all day just like beautiful sunshine in the water, having fun. And I sit in this dark coffin of a studio, and I find myself talking about the horses that I had to bury, and well. Sorry about that.
You know, it'd be some creepy shit. You know how like people have, you know, you can put memorials and stuff like that on your grave, right? Like sometimes people get benches and stuff so people can sit, stuff like that. What if you had a memorial service of some sort create you like a marble Ouija board?
I'm not
and they just lay it over, because Carlita in here said, yeah, let's go Ouija board, you guys film and all that. Yeah, no. What if they had an actual memorialized Ouija board on your grave?
No.
With like one of the little concrete things and everything, they're sitting there, and it just invites you to use a Ouija board when you come visit this person's grave to see if you can try to contact who's actually laying in the ground.
No, I want God to be happy with me. I am not putting a Ouija board anywhere near it. I don't trust those things. I'm not playing with that, but I'll do it for your grave.
Yeah, you see how quick he changed his jib there, guys.
No,
when it came to me being dead,
you're gonna come to the light, and it'll be just fine.
Oh, you guys are gonna be standing there waiting a real long time for that shit. I promise you that.
Shout out to Jeff from last night,
man,
calling in with the gospel. That was a great phone call.
You know, that kid, when we were 15, tried to fight me in an alley because I listened to Good Charlotte and he found out.
The little things, things.
That's a real thing. And after, I'm not even lying, after we left the studio last night and I was driving back, I actually put on Good Charlotte's first album.
Just to get him.
Just to spite that motherfucker.
So, okay, you guys got mad at me for saying listen to Godsmack, but Good Charlotte's okay? Give me a break.
Yeah, man.
No, they have some good songs. They had some good songs.
The first album was fucking awesome. I loved it. It kind of started going downhill from there, but I mean, they still had some bangers that came afterwards.
They did.
It is what it was. That was another drummer that I just loved at the time. Motivation Proclamation was such a badass song, and I was like, man, and the video was so cool. I'm like, I want to be like these guys, and then I almost got my ass kicked by Jeff for it. So
did you dress like them?
No, hell no. You mean like with the Liberty spikes and all that shit? No, I mean, I had, I'm missing a lot of my piercings. I had like my nose, my eyebrow. I had a dermal here done. A lot of this stuff came out in those surgeries that I was telling you about with the crazy shit, because they were worried they were going to have to cauterize me. And I actually had my piercer come up. He's the only guy I've ever let work on me in the last like 20 years. And he put all surgical steel in my face just in case of this and let them know, like, hey, this shit's fine. Whoa. You can go in. And they still took it all out while I was under, and I was pissed because I had to spend like 3 weeks in the hospital recovering from this shit. So I had them redone and then taken, and they all came back out. And it's just one of those things where now, like, I won't do them again unless I go back to Chicago and let him work on me. So I'm just missing all my hard work. Do the people know
what a dermal is? Can you explain that?
It's an anchor. Yeah. It's an anchor. Basically, they make an incision wherever you're having it done, and there's a little platform on the ring, and they just pop it underneath all of the layers of skin. So it feels like really, really squeezing a rough pimple. Like it stings like a bitch. Wild. But they look cool when they heal. They have a high rejection rate depending on what you get.
Yes, they do.
And I had one with like a hollowed out platform so that the like skin and stuff would grow through it to keep it anchored. And we ended up having to cut it out one day because it got infected while I was on tour. And they're a pain in the ass. You can't sleep on them or roll over. Anything that hits them, it's just instantly pissed and it never goes away. So
I managed a tattoo shop for 4 years. I just, like, as a manager, I didn't do anything, but we had a piercer and we had tattooers, and people started getting the dermals, and I was like, that's wild.
As a manager, I didn't do anything.
I mean, I managed. I made the appointments and made things run smoothly, but I didn't do any of the tattooing. I was a guinea pig. I got lots of tattoos.
Oh, no.
Piercings. Oh, yeah.
You were a monkey.
Yeah, instead of using like a pig cadaver, they had Shane.
I'm going to try one more time to bring Chris Martin in, just in the interest of fairness, because I think he got kind of screwed.
Patrick Bostian said Prince Albert. Yeah, those do happen. It's gross.
But I think Chris, are you here? Can you unmute your mic?
Renee says, wow, is there nothing Shane hasn't done? That's only a few. I've only told you about a few of my jobs.
You're turning out to be like that guy that ended up having all the crazy What was he? Was it one of the shooter guys that had like all the crazy jobs? Like that's what I'm getting from you tonight, and it's crazy.
I'm Vance Bolter.
Vance Bolter.
The assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they finally MK Ultra me, they'll be like, "Wait, he was a professor, a gravedigger, a podcast guy, and he worked at a tattoo shop where he did nothing."
You guys hear me now?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going. It's a crazy Thursday night. Thanks for joining us.
It is. I'm in beautiful West Texas looking at a supremely dark sky. It's gorgeous.
Awesome. I love Texas.
So I wanted to tell you about a generational UFO sightings, or a set of generational UFO sightings.
All right.
So I don't want to say specifically where, and before I start, I do want to say that drugs were involved the first time.
Perfect.
I
will cross that off my list.
Yeah, that's usually our first question.
No.
Please proceed.
You know, usually if I ever say this story to anyone, I save that for last because it, automatically gets dismissed at that point.
If I don't hear it brought up, it's usually the first question I'll ask you is, okay, first question, were you on any drugs?
Yep. So how much PCP was
So I was, but it was mild and at the time. So this was 1999.
Mild drugs.
We're in a very secluded place that I don't want to name, but it's super secluded, like probably 40 minutes from the nearest hospital or convenience store or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Family-owned land and whatnot out there. And me and my friend were out there just chilling, getting away. I was young. I was like 21. And we met up and went out. We're hanging out, smoking some joints and whatnot. And you remember those mag lights that the cops always had back in the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
They were like weapons.
Giant ones.
They were like 15 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Each one of us had one, and you could adjust the beam, right?
Yep.
So you can make it a wide beam or a sealed beam. And we were, flashing it up in the sky and, doing stupid stuff like that and just laying in bed pickup, just enjoying a nice, crisp fall evening. And no air traffic, we were just out there shooting the shit, Mm-hmm. And out of the west, moving at very high speed, we saw a wedge-shaped object with 5 rotating red lights. These rotating red lights had a beam coming off one side of the light, kind of like the old cop car lights, like they would set on top in the old cop movies,
with like the spindles on the top and stuff that would kind of just spin around and force the light to reflect. Yeah,
exactly. Mm-hmm. So imagine 5 of those, one in the front, 2 down each side, and they're rotating and they're on, and you can see the outline of this wedge-shaped craft, and it's hauling ass, man. It's moving quick, and we're like, wow, check that out. We didn't know what it was, and but behind it there was an orb, and it was every bit as bright as Venus would be on the brightest night. And it followed this thing, but it wasn't following it in a straight line. It was kind of fluttering like a butterfly, kind of back and forth, heading in the same easterly direction. And we followed it and watched it, and we're like, what? Both of us are pointing at it, going, wow, did you see that? It's like, yeah, I'm seeing it. Are you seeing it yet? And back and forth. And we watched it, and, it covered the entire skyline in about 7-8 seconds. Like, it was moving faster than any of the commercial jetliners we had seen earlier in the evening. This is somewhere around 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. Mm-hmm. And we see it goes, and we're like, whoa, what happened to it? We kind of lost it in the tree line to the west. And then, we just talked about it for a few minutes, and then we walked out to the road at this secluded place we were at. And I saw a very bright white orb, object, whatever, to the east. And, being high and being young, I started flashing my flashlight at it. Well, I flashed 3 times at it. It flashed 3 times back. And so I, grabbed my friend and I'm like, "Did you see that?" So he flashes his flashlight at it. It flashes back. So we spend the next 10 or 15 minutes doing that.
click, 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 click. Yeah.
Yep,
I've done
exactly.
that.
Like sending Morse code, kind of, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're just utterly amused at this point, right? And it stops flashing back. We're like, what's up with that? And we do it a few more times, and then we noticed there's another one. We were flashing at the one to the left, and then another one appeared to the right and started flashing the sequences back towards us. And then they started changing colors. They look like molten metal, and it would shift from white to green to red to blue, like liquid metal. And we even broke out the binoculars and tried looking at it, and all it looked like was a ball of molten metal. So we do this for what seemed like hours, and then suddenly I just became bored with it. Both of us did, and we decided we were going to drive out to the lake and watch the sunset, or watch the sunrise rather, excuse me. And as we're driving down the road, now if this was a star or something like that way out in space, to the east, is in that direction, you wouldn't be able to drive by it. So as we were heading east down this dirt road, we noticed that it stayed beside us, and then it ended up behind us as we got further down the road. And so there was this kind of missing time thing going on there, because suddenly it was like 6 o'clock in the morning and the sun was coming up, and we went out to this lake and watched a glorious sunrise. Well, we talk about it the whole way, and I end up going to the town that's 40 miles away, and my aunt lives there, and I start talking to her about it, and like, she's writing it down, and she's fascinated with the whole thing, because it's early in the morning. I woke her up on a like Sunday morning, and she's just fascinated with the whole thing. And then she starts telling me about at the same place when my grandmother was a child, when she was 13, 14 years old, she had an experience very similar that she didn't talk about very much. And I thought, well, years later, I thought, well, maybe that's kind of, she was just trying to ease me, because I was noticeably animated, I'm sure. And then I talked to some of the other family members, and indeed, this was something that my grandmother had spoken about on a couple of occasions before she passed. And, after that, because it was just so profound, after that, I started looking into it more, and there had been several different sightings in that location over the years from different people that lived out there and that were familiar with the family and whatnot. So as years go by, I get married, and I end up back out there camping, and trying to witness this thing again. And one particular night in 2009, I'd gotten into a pretty intense argument with my wife, and I was like, man, I got to get out of here for a while. And I blasted off from where I lived at, which was about an hour and a half away from that place. And it didn't have any cell phone service. So I thought, man, that's the best place for me to go. Mm-hmm. So I go back out there, and I see the orb again. Now, this time, completely sober. Like it had been, I was trying to have a child, so it had been at least a year, maybe 2 years since I'd done anything, not even drank, nothing. And same thing, flash a light at it, it flash sequence back. I had a period of missing time where it just got boring. That was the sensation I remember feeling, was just bored with it. So I drove on and went about my day, and then come to find out, another family member at the same place. This was my great uncle. He had reported seeing something similar at the old family place out there. So, all the times that I went back out there, I'd never seen it. And even since 2009, when I'd go back out there, I've never witnessed anything or anything. Me and my aunt that recorded the event with me, she went out there and we camped. It's probably been 20 or 30 times since then, and we've never seen anything. But it was pretty crazy that I saw it, and then come to find out my grandmother had seen it, and my great uncle had seen something similar in the same location. And yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
It is. Do you know how your grandma, or did you say great grandma or grandma?
Grandmother.
Do you know how your grandma, if she communicated with it? Because I'm sure she didn't have a mag light, but like, was she?
She was in a little bit different situation. So when she was 13 or 14, this would have been in the very early 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure she didn't have a mag light. But I remember from what I was told by the family, that she was upset by it. It was profound, and she would get upset if anybody would bring it up. And my aunt, who was her daughter, would, occasionally bring it up. Her being the youngest and the most cantankerous, she would bring it up and kind of pester grandma about it. And every once in a while, she'd give her a little tidbit about it. And there was some sort of interaction, but she never clearly defined what it was to any of us.
Do you know if it happened around the same time of night, or was it?
Well, it was nighttime when it happened to her. Like, I can't imagine her being, 13, 14 out in the middle of nowhere like that. Of course, they had outhouses back then. They did, we're talking way out in the country. There's no plumbing.
Yeah.
There was a well out there that was like hand pumped. So they had outhouses outside. So she could have experienced it while going to the outhouse, but those kind of details just aren't available. It's, they're lost to time now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same with my great uncle. Like, what he said about it was very vague, and he seemed disturbed.
Were they religious people?
Yes.
And so it was probably taboo to talk about.
Yes. And back in that time, West Texas, like, a lot of things were taboo to talk about like that. Like, it just wasn't something you brought up in polite company, right?
Right.
No, they didn't ever divulge to you what they thought it was. And I'm about to screw everybody over here that's drinking, but did they think it was a probe? Did they think it was our government? Or they just, because of that situation, they never wanted to talk about it?
They from best I can gather, right, from secondhand information, they felt it was something spiritual. Now think about it. At that time, UFOs weren't prevalent in the culture, especially not in some place like that where they may not have even had electricity. Right. So they're probably not watching TV. Yeah, there was movies and things like that at that time, but it hadn't, as far as my understanding goes, it hadn't proliferated the culture like it has today.
Yeah.
What do you think it was?
Man, the thing about it that really messes me up and makes me conflicted about how many different possibilities there are was the thing with the wedge-shaped craft with the rotating red lights. I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was guiding it, or if it launched it, or if it was just intercepting it. I have no idea.
How high?
But that would seem the wedge-shaped craft, like it seemed like that was something man-made, something government, right? Like, that would make sense to me. But the
way the lights were described, that's what I was thinking too.
But the orb that was following it, and we didn't see that immediately at first. We saw the red lights turning, and we were like, what the hell is that? And then I'm telling you, it was as bright as Venus. Super bright white light fluttering around. It wasn't moving in a straight trajectory like maybe a satellite would or a meteor or anything like that. It was kind of fluttering, kind of weaving back and forth, side to side, in a kind of, just in a non-linear fashion, right?
How far away? How far away were the orbs from you? Could you tell?
If I had to guess, I would say somewhere around a mile. Like we were pretty close, and the altitude, and this thing was silent. Okay, like we had seen some commercial jetliners fly over to the south earlier in the evening, and we could hear it and see it, and track its rate of speed. Right, this thing was moving way faster. No sound whatsoever. There's a road a couple of miles down the road, or through the hills and everything. We could hear cars driving up and down this highway, right? But this thing that flew over, we heard nothing. It was totally silent.
And when you talk about missing time, what exactly do you mean?
Well, it was like we flashed the lights at it for a long time, it seemed like. And then suddenly it was like it didn't matter anymore. We were bored with it and it was time to go. It was like I was standing there flashing light, totally enthralled with this experience, right? And then suddenly I was jolted out of it and was not interested anymore. Like I was still aware of it, but I tried it a few more times and it wasn't responding at that point.
What's your take on that?
I don't know. But one thing that I have noticed since then is I have a little bit of a lump on my right shoulder beneath the skin. It's not magnetic or anything, but I have no idea. It's probably not relevant or anything.
You should talk to your physician immediately. That's my best.
Well, we have. He said it was a calcium deposit. Or something.
Yeah, I was going to say. The way that you were leading it sounded like you thought maybe it was an implant or something.
Well, like I always wondered that after watching all these UFO shows and, doing all that, because after the first time I saw it, like, I was passively interested in that kind of stuff at the time. Like it had just kind of been a thing, just pop culture kind of thing, right, at the time. And then, afterwards I was, what is this? And I started getting curious about it. And that also reminds me, I remember when I was a little boy and I was staying with my grandmother, she had all these books about UFOs and stuff. What was the Indian, the Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavad Gita?
Yep. She had some books about that. She's a Christian lady, so having that kind of imagery around was probably frowned upon at the time. But I remember her having some books like that, and I remember her having several illustrated books that had stuff about UFOs in them. And
did your friend find a lump on him?
Not that I'm aware of. He joined the military later on, and then after that, he kind of got to where he wouldn't discuss it. Like it
was just too weird for him, or
I don't know. I never could get it out of him. Like we had a couple of conversations after he got out of the military about it, and then I guess I'd brought it up too many times, and it irritated him. Because I just wanted to confirm in detail.
Yeah.
Years, decade later, that we were seeing the same thing, and then he got to where he just didn't want to talk about it. He would confirm at first, and then it was like he just didn't want to discuss it anymore after that.
Interesting. Well, that's a great story. I appreciate you calling in and sharing it.
All right. Hey, I appreciate what you guys do. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, man.
Hey, too. Thanks.
Have a great night.
You too.
You know, I sometimes like to sneak in a little music recommendation. He reminded me when he said about the glorious sunrise of one of the greatest songs on YouTube from maybe 15 years ago. Remember the Carl Sagan auto-tune song they made, Glorious Dawn? It's a great one. I don't know if we can play it. It would be great if we could hear just like 2 seconds of it. It's so good. It's so good.
I feel like they'll give us a lashing for that one.
I know. But you guys should go listen to it. It was a good early viral, one of their auto-tuning everything, and they sampled Carl Sagan quotes into a glorious
That
song.
just reminded me of Auto-Tune the News, actually. The videos that they used to do back in like the early 2000s, just a bunch of kids, and they would just take news clippings and they would auto-tune random songs.
Genius.
It was like Antoine Dodson and everything came from,
Genius.
Sweet Brown, climbing in your window, snatching your people up, you know?
The good old days.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Let's get to another caller.
Let's do it. Okay.
That was a great story.
So, it's hard for me to tell if these people are new or not because you guys are name changers on me all the time. I just can't trust any of you. I want to try to go to Spencer.
Just looking in the chat and they're talking about getting probed by Grays.
Oh, he said it. Spencer, you're on the show. What's up? Spencer, can you hear me?
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Hello?
What's up, man?
Hello.
We can hear you.
Hold on, I gotta mute this show. I can't. Okay, there we go.
Please do.
Yeah. What's going on? You are here. You are on Inverted World Live.
Here. Well, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh man,
That's all right. Take your time.
How much weed did you smoke?
Are you in missing time right now? Is this where people go when they're in missing time to our podcast?
Oh, I wish.
This is you
well,
are
not
in a
playing the
spaceship.
drinking game too, so
Oh
it's like,
man,
it's perfect.
He
It's kinda low tough.
just said the word probe beforehand, and I just said it now. So you should probably take a second and
Oh shoot, here we go.
have a sip and collect your thoughts.
Thursday. It's
You too,
basically-
Renee.
It's Friday, basically.
I'm
care how
off
many
tomorrow,
times you
man.
hit it.
It's a good day.
Beautiful. Happy to hear it.
So, well, speaking of dogs,
Oh, no.
you know, I have never had a dog until like every dog I've ever had through my whole life has always been either given away or like has been. I've never had a dog till its death, and now it's been a blessing. I love all my dogs. Like they weren't my
dogs rule.
choice. Like the first dog I ever had, I would think we were like, I was probably like 11 or 12. Sasha was a black lab mixed with a chow. This dog every night, it was like at sundown. Like I would take care of the dog. I would pick up its poop. I would take it outside. Like I had my older brother and my younger sister. We would all play with it, whatever. But every night at sundown, this dog had like a switch and it would hunt me through the house. And it was so bad that the one day it was like I was sitting in the back room watching TV and this dog comes running in and it latches onto my right arm and it won't let go. It's just like it was sundown. It's that time. It's like, I don't know what's going on. So it's latching onto my arm. I'm like, holy shit. I'm trying to get it off. It won't let go. It broke my arm.
Oh my goodness.
This fucking dog broke my arm.
Jesus.
So
Horrible.
we ended up giving it away, and it was the police dog, and so every dog I've ever had, it was like never till its death. Now the dog we have now, I have this little she's a peekapoo,
A what?
but she's a peekapoo. It's like a Pekingese and a poodle mix. She's
Oh.
like this little thing. I'm a big dog guy.
Sounds
but
like a cryptid.
this has been-
Sounds like a little cryptid.
she is
Peekapoo.
the cutest dog you've ever seen in your whole life. She's adorable, but she's 15. I don't know where I'm going with this. My bad, man.
Oh, it's all right. It's all
Talking
right.
about dogs.
That's right. We're talking about dogs. Let's talk about celebrate the peekapoo.
I fucking love dogs, man. They are angels. I was in the chat earlier. Someone was talking about like, are dogs angels? It's like, hell yeah, dude. Dogs
rule.
are in heaven. If there's a heaven, I know all the dogs are there, man.
I hope so. There's a lot of dogs I'd like to see again. I miss my dogs.
I know, man. I used to have one of the dogs I loved. Oh man, the best dog breed I think is the Doberman. It's a weird breed. It's like 6 different dogs. Some dude it's like some German tax collector made.
Mm.
And it was 6 different dogs he bred. It was like a German Shepherd, a Rottweiler, and I don't know, a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yep.
And this dog, I got her at 8 weeks old. She was potty trained by 10 weeks, messed in the house maybe twice, but knew like how to go outside. She would like get you, bring you, lead you to the back, like, hey, I need to go. We put a bell up there. She would just ring the bell to want to go outside. Dang. Smartest dog in the world. I would never have to use a leash with her. Like,
it's a good
I
dog.
could just by the time she was 6 months old, I knew like hand commands, whistles, everything. Like, she was the smartest dog in the world.
Sounds like a circus.
Yeah, it was a great dog.
Well, shout out to all the dogs. Shout out to all the dogs out there.
Hey,
even the ones that get their owners deported.
Yeah, that
especially
Bones,
those dogs, right?
What? Yeah,
USA.
Yeah, we radicalized the dogs. That dog is MAGA. That dog voted for Trump.
That was literally the next. He beat me by 1 second. I was like, they're gonna be voting soon.
Let the dogs vote.
We're gonna start gerrymandering. I'm gonna count my dog.
To hell with the National Guard. Just
it was a German Shepherd. Is that a dog whistle?
Yeah. Hey Grok, what's the dog whistle in this comment? Yeah.
Oh well, that's good. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I totally forgot what I was going to call in about. So
that's talking about to put the damn call screen up, but that's on me.
Brandon's drinking.
I know last time I called, I had a UFO story, but I already told it. It was my dad's UFO story, but that was yeah, I already said that.
We appreciate you sharing it, and if you remember other ones, you can call back. We'll try to get to another caller before the end of the night here, but I'm glad you called in and shared it, and we're blessed to have time with our dogs on this earth while we have it.
Yeah.
It's not long
Hell
enough.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, man.
See ya.
I always had big dogs growing up. Great Danes, Mastiffs. We had German Shepherds. And my parents, when they retired and left the farm, they're on another farm now, smaller farm, they got Irish Wolfhounds. Have you seen these? They're amazing.
I don't know that I there's a lot of dogs I've seen where I don't know what the hell breed they are.
Dude, can you pull up an image of Irish Wolfhound and we'll get to the next caller? These dogs.
What did you say it was?
Irish Wolfhound. They're huge. They're huge. And like, I thought Great Danes were big. We always had really big Great Danes. But Irish Wolfhounds.
Oh yeah, these guys.
Stupid big.
These big old dudes.
I love these dogs. They're so nice. Very nice. They're good to my kids. But
yeah, anytime I've ever seen one of these, I'm like, holy shit. And that's.
Is there any pictures with them with a person so you can see?
This kind of is.
Yeah, kind of is.
You can see this is
they're
like,
enormous. They're straight up werewolves. My parents have 2 werewolves.
Yeah, this guy's probably at least like 6 foot tall. So
yeah, I feel like I'm getting secondhand drunk from the probe game.
He said it again
right now. So
he did that on purpose.
Let's do another caller.
All right. Maybe this time I'll remember to put up the screen.
Cats are also cool.
Let's get to...
Joe said dad joke night at IWL. Hell yeah. It's dad joke night every day for me.
Let's go to one of the ladies here.
Triple Trumper.
Let's bring on Monica. I haven't talked to Monica in a while.
Oh, man. The dogs are deporting people. I'm stoked on that. I'm going to try to bring that up on IRL on Monday.
Monica, you're on the show.
Important story.
Can you unmute? See, the other running joke is that if I have to ask a caller to unmute, that's also a signal to drink, apparently. So that's part of the rules. So
that's good.
It just takes a little second to get the phone to do its job.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yes, I'm trying to unmute. Where is the unmute button? It's not showing it to me. So it's just technology.
Yep. Burn it.
It's a struggle.
At some point, I'd love this podcast to just be paper cups and strings. And
that would be awesome.
Campbell's soup cans. And,
yeah. How can we do that?
I don't think we can.
But hey, how are you? What's up?
I'm doing good. I'm doing so good. It's so great to talk to Brandon and Shane again. Y'all are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back.
I love the show. I've been like trying to call in every night this week because every single night has been so interesting.
Oh,
and
thanks.
I've had so many different things that I wanted to talk about, but I'm just going to say one story because I don't want to take up too much time.
Yeah, go for it.
Do y'all believe in doppelgangers?
They're there. I don't know what it is.
So I was going to say define belief because, yes, I believe there are people out there that look like other people, but I don't necessarily think that they're impersonating the same people unless it's Joe Biden.
He's got
what if it's in your like neighborhood and you live in a country like rural farm area and somebody is seeing you in places where you're not at driving the same car that you drive when it's a very unusual car and like your own mother is like, what were you doing here? You were supposed to be at work. And you're like, no, I was at work. You can call my boss. I was at work. And then she's like, no, I saw you and I saw your car. And it looked just like me. And she said she saw, this is when I was 15 years old. And she said she saw my car and it wasn't me because I wasn't there. And I've never seen that car in our neighborhood before.
Were you separated at birth?
Maybe.
With a twin?
Well, it's either that or it's one of those like single white female situations. You remember that movie with like Jennifer Jason Leigh where she meets was one of the Fondas, I think, was in that movie.
Okay.
And she like meets her and wants to be exactly like her and ends up like kidnapping her and cutting her hair and dyeing it to like change it to be exactly like she is. And her ultimate goal is to replace her and keep her tied up. And
those things happen.
Yeah.
It's also in Vertigo, the Hitchcock film, right? Doesn't the one girl go away and she becomes another? I forget exactly that plot, but there is a woman who becomes the other woman, sort of. I think that's scary.
It's super creepy because, I'm at work and she thinks that I'm driving around in the neighborhood. I don't know what she thought I was doing in the middle of the country in the middle of the day. But she said she saw my car. She saw me. Other people saw me driving the car around. I was like, no, that wasn't me. And I had a 2000 metallic blue Firebird, which is extremely rare, especially in the middle of the country.
Yeah, you don't see flame pigeons very, very much anymore.
That's cool.
And she said it was me. And I was like, no, I was at work. You can call my boss. Literally, like there's documentation that I was at work when you said you saw this. And she's like screaming and yelling at me like, why are you not going to work? You have to go to work and pay your car payment. And I'm like, but I'm at work. Like, it's so confusing. And then a few years later, it must have been like 8 years later, I had downgraded from my super expensive car that I had when I was 18, which don't buy your kids expensive cars and expect them to pay their car payment when they're young, because it's not going to work out. Like if you can't buy the car for them and it's very expensive, like my mom put me into a loan situation with this car where I could not afford it.
And she co-signed, right?
Yeah. She said, I'm not paying this anymore. It's your job now. You're 18. And I was just like, okay, well, I can't afford this. I'm trying to go to college. I'm trying to work like at a restaurant. And so it was very stressful as a young person to be dealing with that.
Right.
And then she's telling me that I'm not at work. I'm driving around in the car and not working when I'm at work, which is super weird. And then a few years later, after I downgrade to a Honda Civic, which is the kind of car you should drive when you're that age.
That is what I had at that age.
6 years younger. Right? I mean, 6 years older. I'm driving a Honda Civic from a Firebird.
Uh-huh.
And I actually come up to a stop sign right down the road from my house because I still live in the same community that I grew up in. And I'm sitting at one side of the stop sign, and at the other side of the stop sign, I'm seeing the same exact car, same exact color.
Ooh.
And there's a girl that looks just like me driving it. And this is an older model car at the time. And I was like, is this the same person that my mom claims was me driving around in our community? So there's a legend out there that if you see your doppelganger, you're going to die. And I thought I saw my doppelganger. So I was like scared about it. I was like, oh my God, like, is this my doppelganger? And, you know, she turned her away and I went straight because I needed to go straight. And I didn't die. So I think that legend's bullshit.
Unless she died.
I don't know what happened. I don't even know who that was. It just looked exactly like me. It was like looking into a mirror, same car, same looking female. And I was just like, oh, well, maybe this is something that I'm, you know, maybe it's not just another person that looks like you. Maybe it's like some sort of reflection of the past or something that happened in the past and someone can see it now, but it's not really happening right now. Like some sort of interdimensional thing where you're seeing something you think is real right now, but it's something that happened in the past. Well, kind of like whenever you know, hear about hauntings, like that are like, you're just seeing something that happened from the past.
Like the official doppelganger definition is a ghostly double or counterpart of a living person. So, you know, typically I think of doppelgangers as another person who just looks like you. But originally it's kind of like what you're saying, some sort of spiritual other, some ghost, some apparition that looks like you. We've had another caller. Was it Catherine from Scotland, our friend from Scotland, who saw her doppelganger once? And she lived to tell the tale.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did.
Yeah.
What did she say about it? I don't think I was listening.
I think they met on was it in an elevator? I forget. But I think she saw her somewhere, and it was just super weird. I don't think she talked to her, and they went their separate ways, and she lived to call us and tell us about it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Back to the Future. You're not supposed to go like talk to yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Right? It's bizarre. Like if I saw somebody that looked exactly like me in front of me, I'd be like, hello, who are you?
Yeah.
Why do you look just like me? This is weird.
See, I would probably immediately punch them. That way I could see if I feel it. Like I would probably just immediately haul off and just punch him somewhere. It doesn't have to be in the face, you know, just punch him in the arm or something, you know, like so you don't get your ass kicked. But and then see if you feel it.
Like it's a walking voodoo doll.
If you don't, you'd be like, all right, cool. You know, let me buy you a beer.
We're good. I would probably follow it.
What if they eat you or something like that after you punch them? And like, okay, you failed the test. Now you're done.
I mean, if I do feel it, then obviously you need to run because you can't kill it or you kill it yourself. So
yeah,
exactly. It's
but then you know.
Is this some sort of like? Is it a reflection of something from the past that you're seeing, or is it like something, you know, in the future? Is it like yourself that's trying to tell you something? Like these are things that I've always wondered about the doppelganger thing.
Yep. I mean, I could just go, there's so many different ways to look at it. Some people just be like, well, it's just a coincidence. You know, I don't believe in those. But the fact that you saw someone in the same car, was it the exact same car? Or I think it was an older model.
The exact same car, same year, same model, same color.
Like, that's super bizarre. You know, I get a lot of my answers from the show Twin Peaks, where doppelgangers exist, and they're sent from the Black Lodge, and they kind of operate like evil NPCs while you're stuck in the Black Lodge. So I don't know. Maybe yours escaped some other dimension and was rolling around. I mean, the odds of all that in your same community, it's weird. I would probably follow it. It's a
small community. It's super small. It's like where you grew up, kind of like a country farmland community. So to see someone driving the exact same car as you that looks just like you, and your mom saying she saw you driving the same car you used to drive 8 years before, like it's like bizarre.
I almost had a doppelganger experience in high school. A kid who would end up becoming my best friend. I was just telling Brandon about him last night, my boy Maddie. Before we were friends, it was like 9th grade. He snuck out of our high school, and the principal thought it was me. So I got called down to the office because they're like, "Why is Shane skipping?" We were just two scrawny, gothic-looking kids, you know, pale and spiky hair. So, but we do look a lot alike. And you were saying last night with your friend, right? Sort of similar things. Like, that's not a true doppelganger thing, but it was certainly weird whenever someone thinks they see you, and then you're almost in trouble for it. But I was able to prove that I was actually in social studies. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good story. I appreciate it. And if you happen to see the doppelganger again, now that we've exposed the doppelganger, let us know.
Well, Shane, I wanted to also tell you real quick. I've actually recorded the wedge flying object the gentleman was talking about that called in before me or a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a recording of it where I recorded it. So is there a way that I can send it to you so you can have the video just to see what you think about it?
Definitely. If you are on Twitter or Instagram, that's typically the best.
Okay, I'll send it. You want me to send it in a DM?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And awesome show. Awesome week. I love you guys so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Good luck out there with the doppelganger.
Y'all have a great weekend. We all have a doppelganger.
Ooh,
I hope I never meet mine or he's getting punched.
Yeah, he's outside waiting after the show.
Thanks, Monica.
Later.
Thank you.
We actually just cycle through our doppelgangers. You know, we do 2 nights a week. And on Monday, our doppelgangers will be here.
Fantastic. I need some sleep.
Well, that was a fun one. I thought I had some like good news articles that I meant to send you. I saw one article I thought was hilarious. It was about an airplane. The headline was amazing. Pilot says, "I'm not really feeling it," tells passengers before they have to deplane. He went through so many issues with the plane. It was going to go, I think, from California to Hawaii. And he just said at the very end, after waiting and hours waiting on the tarmac and getting looked at and oiled up, all this good stuff, he goes, "I don't want to be over an ocean with this plane."
So that was pre-flight.
Pre-flight, and everyone was like, "Yeah, good." We all agree. Like no one was. It seems like no one was mad. I would be like, "I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'm not really feeling it."
I'm not really feeling it. And they're like, "Yeah." Imagine waiting that long though. But if you're hearing all these reports back, being like, "Okay, this is now broken."
I mean, at the same time, if your captain comes over the loudspeaker and he's just like, "My dudes, this is not the vibe." I mean, get off the plane.
Yep. I always make fun of like the Boeing stuff, and I don't think this is Boeing stuff. But there was another story recently that the Air Force is now investigating about the passengers terrified as pilot maneuvers to avoid midair collision with B-52 bomber. Did you hear that one?
No.
Crazy story. A pilot was lauded for his skill and quick thinking after a near disaster in the air. The jet was traveling from Minneapolis to St. Paul when it unexpectedly encountered a B-52 Stratofortress. Isn't that insane? And just barely missed it.
I mean, those are big-ass planes, man.
Big planes.
52s are huge.
Yep. Who is this quote from? This is from the plane. "All of a sudden, we just jerk really hard to the right. We just kept taking more turns. And he gets on the announcement and says, 'I'm sorry, everybody. I'll explain everything once we've landed safely.'" Dude, that's insane. I mean, remember how we started this year, right? With the helicopter crash in D.C.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That was like it was a whole family, wasn't it? And it was like their
it was a bunch of kids.
It was their mother's birthday or something.
That might have been another one. I'm talking about the military crash. Was it the one with
the failed? The initial one that happened over. Okay, that was the one that flew into the plane, and then that one was up in New York, wasn't it?
That was in New York. What you're talking about? The one I'm talking about was in like
I got you now. Yeah,
Reagan.
That was the start of the whole like FAA nightmare sequence of a few weeks, and then all of a sudden, nothing but plane crashes were in the news for the next few weeks, which I feel like was by design.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to share just a few happy stories from the air. As dark as those stories are, but they avoided disaster. Thank God.
Man.
Thank God. What else was there? Because we're rounding out now. I can't believe it's 11:57.
This
it's almost
is
Friday. What do you got? I sent you so many articles this week we didn't even get to. The jellyfish one.
You said you wanted something happy from the air, and since we've been talking about puppies all night, I figured I would throw this.
Is it Puppies on Balloons?
It's Airbud. Airbud. He sits, he stays, he shoots, he scores. He's a good boy.
This is an incredible movie.
Don't forget about Airbud. R.I.P. The original good boy.
Is the original Airbud dead?
This movie was a really long time ago, so I would have to believe that, yes.
I'm just not hearing this for the first time.
It's the way time works, Shane.
I had missing time from all this since I last saw Airbud.
You got doppelganged.
Well, they had a lot of doppelgangers for Airbud. They had a lot of dogs filling for that movie.
I'm never saying doppelganged again either. That sounds
doppelganged was disgusting.
Yeah.
That is not going to be part of the drinking game. It could be part of the drinking game. If you hear Brandon say doppelganged anymore, You have to drink an entire 40.
I don't think I'm going to be saying
Old
that anytime
English.
soon, so you guys don't have to worry about that. I think
I'm just looking
fine.
at these guys in the chat. They're talking about like smoking indica and stuff. Are you guys drunk?
Well, all anybody has
Sativa?
to say on a call is the word drugs, and the chat lights up. And they're, what kind of drugs? How strong were they? How many did you take? I took drugs once. I was over here, and then the drugs took me, and it was a crazy thing.
Oh my goodness.
But it's always fun to watch.
My goodness. You guys are wild. Melatonin doesn't work. Renee says for sleeping I take it. Yeah.
We actually, Superstitch, that's crazy. We did used to play Edward 40 Hands back in Chicago. But for anybody that doesn't know, you basically duct tape 2 40s to your hand, and someone takes the caps off for you, and you can't get rid of them until after you've drank them both. And basically you have to drink 80 ounces of beer in order to be saved.
Yeah.
And then, it just results in you throwing 2 40-ounce bottles empty at a wall somewhere at a public park in Chicago, and all hell ensues with the friends that you have. That
we had a very similar childhood. I mean, other than all the horse graves,
you
and
got
all
me
that,
there, man.
all that stuff aside, the 40s. We did a lot of 40s. That was what we did. Shout out to the homeless man who we used to pay to get him for us when we were 16. Still alive, still kicking it in good old Highland Falls, New York.
So to all our callers tonight, thanks for calling in. If we didn't get to you, I'm trying to take some names down really quick so we can try to get to you guys next week if you want to call back. We'll get into it. Like, subscribe, share the show. Everyone you know. It's been a crazy-ass up and down week. Tonight was an awesome episode. Flew by. Super grateful to everyone for being here. You can find me at Brando Inverted on X and on Insta. As always, don't forget to stay weird. Have a great fucking weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Shane.
Thank you guys for participating in my therapy session tonight. That was fun. Didn't see that one coming. And you guys are awesome. Seriously, thank you so much. Thanks for the laughs in the chat. Thanks for the calls. And can't wait to see you guys on Monday. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Later.